A tutorial usually would take place with a smaller group, but the focus there is really on the participation of the students. And your role in there is partly to gauge their understanding, to see how much of this they are absorbing and whether any further interventions are needed on your part to ensure that the students really have got to grip with the material.
The distinction between lectures and tutorials is mainly based on the activation of one's understanding. Because in large rooms, in large lecture halls, students are usually passive. They sit and they listen, or they look at things, and they may write notes. Everything is very, very good. And the most exquisite lecture will still leave the students passive, in the sense that the students will be observing an exquisite lecture, but the only thing he would know is that he or she has seen an exquisite lecture. The point of education is to transfer that which they have seen into themselves, into their own understanding. So what I call the transition between passive and active understanding, or the shift into the cognitive level of internalizing a knowledge. For this, the participation of the students is crucial. The student has to therefore both do the thing and talk about it. Extremely important to talk about it. Because it's only when we say things that our mind is no longer capable of glossing over the gaps in our understanding.
Isn't that using genetic research, doesn't that provide benefits in curing that sort of problem as well?
So the role of the tutorial is to activate the knowledge that was delivered in the lectures.
Where a lecture is primarily the lecturer transmitting things and making sure the students engaged, a seminar should be almost entirely the other way round. The people doing the work should be the students, not the class teacher. So that partly involves giving them some things to do before the classes, some readings to do, maybe some questions to think about and prepare answers to. And in the class, the role of the lecturer is to facilitate a conversation. It's to get the students to do the hard work, force them to think, force them to explain their ideas to other people, but to set a framework and to make sure that that's kept within a sort of set of parameters, a set of limits that means that it's relevant to the topic in hand.
Quite often tutorials would be based around assignments that the lecturer has given the students. And in a tutorial, the lecturer may help the students go through the assignments, or the students may work in groups to explain to each other how they solve the assignments. But it's a fundamental importance in the first place that the students have attempted the assignments. There's no point really as a student going along to a tutorial class or seminar where somebody is going to tell them the answers to the assignments if they haven't already grappled with the assignments themselves. It's only by trying them, even if they haven't solved them, they'll have appreciated the difficulties they've encountered, and it's only by doing that that those difficulties can be genuinely resolved.
The more prepared the teacher is, the better the tutorial is, no question. So you must be extremely familiar with whatever readings have been assigned for that tutorial. That is rule number one. Rule number two, I would say, is to be familiar with the questions that are associated with that tutorial in the exam. One of the wonderful resources that you have using the international programs are the old exam papers and the examiner's commentaries from past years. And by using those, again, as just a touchstone, you can prepare the students for the exam while engaging them with current events and with what's going on in the world. So you have to prepare yourself first, and then you can successfully teach a classroom. The other things to do, of course, the physical setup of the classroom, the classic horseshoe shape of desks, so all the students can see each other and communicate. And the teacher, on a good day, can lean back and allow the students to almost take over.